ashes, the focus of this day named Ash Wednesday. But what are ashes but the remnants of something that once was? What's left over after something has been destroyed? And so, as we receive these, we must realize that we are saying that there's something about us that needs to be eliminated, needs to be destroyed, needs to be no more. And what is that? It's the human tendency in all of us, because of original sin, that we want it our way. It's about me, myself, and I. My will, my preference, my comfort, my pleasure. Indeed, this is what underlies all sin, and it's what underlies every headline that comes to us in the news that indeed shocks and disturbs us. Indeed, it underlies the human condition. And every year we are given the gift of this season of Lent, in a sense, to have a spiritual reboot, to get back on track so that it is God's way, not my way, God's will, not my will, God's law, not my plan, that again governs our minds, our hearts, and ultimately our lives. But what we have to be sure of is that there is absolutely nothing in those ashes, not even when we sprinkle them with holy water, that is going to make that happen for us. There is absolutely nothing magic about them. They are only a sign of our willingness to take this important moral and spiritual work on over the course of this season of Lent. And so as we listen to our gospel, it's not about ashes. It's about three very important tools at our disposal for this season. Prayer. As we discipline ourselves to pray more, that is how we start to put God back in the driver's seat. Fasting and self-denial, learning how to say no to ourselves. That's very difficult, because when we want something, we want something. And it's very hard to say no, isn't it? But by fasting and self-denial, we start to gain power over ourselves. And then when we deny ourselves things, we have more resources left over to share with those who are in need. And so we are freer to be people of genuine charity, thinking of others as much or hopefully even more than ourselves, especially those in need. So prayer, fasting, almsgiving, these are our tools, not the ashes. The ashes are just a sign, and we can't tell whether that sign is fruitful or empty until we arrive here once again on Holy Thursday evening and look back on what we have been able to accomplish this Lent. So let us pray that using those tools given to us, we will indeed have a fruitful Lent, and God will be back in the driver's seat.